They say family sticks together, that blood is thicker than water, but they don't tell you what to do when your family is the one pulling you under. My name is Lena Miles, 32, quiet, responsible, the one everyone calls when they screw up. And somehow, the one nobody listens to when I speak. It started with a phone call from my cousin Jade, crying, homeless, her husband gone, 2 kids in tow. Just a couple weeks, she promised. I had a 2-bedroom condo and a soft spot for broken people, so I said yes, and that's when I began to disappear. I hadn't eaten in 2 days. There were 3 slices of bread left in the fridge, moldy. I threw them out and drank tap water, with sugar just to silence the ache in my stomach. My family thought I was doing fine. Or maybe they didn't care. They came to me for money, favors, babysitting, errands, never asking if I could afford to say yes. And for years I couldn't say no. Mom said, "It's what family does." My brother called me selfish, the one time I didn't lend him rent money. My cousin guilt-tripped me into co-signing a car loan, then disappeared, leaving me stuck with payments. I was working 2 jobs, no savings, no rest. And then, one Tuesday afternoon, everything gave out. I collapsed at my desk. Head hit the keyboard. The last thing I remember was someone yelling my name, and the sound of papers scattering to the floor. I woke up in the break room with a dull ache in my head, a blanket over me, and a stranger watching silently from across the table. He slid a plain paper bag toward me. "What's this?" I asked, voice cracked. "From someone who says he's been waiting a long time to help you," the man said. "Read the letter." Inside the bag, a business card for a law firm I'd never heard of. A thick cream-colored envelope, and under it something heavy, a check. I opened the letter with shaking hands. It began, "My dear grandchild, they told you I was evil, but I never stopped watching." I held the letter like it might vanish if I blinked. "My dear grandchild," it said, "they told you I was evil, a tyrant, dangerous, but I see now. They did that so you'd never come looking for me. I've watched your life from a distance with growing guilt and heartbreak. You deserve better. I can't take back the years, but I can give you the future they stole." It was signed, Silas Granger, your grandfather. My hands trembled. Silas Granger. The name had only been whispered in our house, and always in disgust. "He cut us off," my mother would say. "He was obsessed with control. Left us with nothing. But the truth? They never told me he tried to reach out. The man who apparently abandoned us was watching me collapse from hunger while my family lived off my kindness. And the check? $250,000. With a note? "Use this to survive. Then come see me. Everything else is waiting." Everything else? I picked up the lawyer's card. It was time to find out exactly what my family had hidden from me, and what they were about to lose. She smiled. "One that gives you full control of everything. But you must decide what happens to the rest of your family, and how much, if anything, they get." I froze. For the first time in my life, I had power. Not just money. Power to rewrite the story, and I knew exactly what I'd do with it. 2 days later, I walked into a private law office, with nothing but the letter, and the weight of a lifetime of betrayal. The receptionist greeted me by name. "Mr. Granger's legal team has been expecting you for years." Years. Inside, the lawyer, a sharp-eyed woman named Celeste, slid a file across the table. "This," she said, "is what your family never wanted you to see." I opened it. Bank accounts, property deeds, trust documents, and on top of it all, a will dated 6 years ago. My name in bold letters, primary beneficiary. I stared at it, but why didn't anyone tell me? Celeste folded her hands. "Your grandfather reached out to your mother multiple times. She refused contact. She even threatened legal action if he kept trying to speak to you. Said you didn't want anything from him." My stomach turned. "They let me starve," I said quietly, while he tried to help. Celeste nodded. "Mr. Granger knew. And before he passed 6 months ago, he set up a final clause." "What kind of clause?" I didn't rush. First, I took care of myself, paid my debts, quit my job, moved into one of the quiet country homes my grandfather left behind, far from the noise and far from them. Then I waited. 3 weeks later it started. "Mom. Hey, weird question. Have you heard anything about Grandpa Silas's estate? We're trying to get in touch with his lawyers." I stared at the message for a full minute. Then I left her on read. A day later my brother called. Apparently someone inherited everything he said, laughing bitterly. "It wasn't Mom or me." "Weird, huh?" I stayed silent. They never suspected me, until the family group chat lit up with a screenshot. My name, on a public legal notice, executor and primary beneficiary of the estate of Silas Granger. The group went quiet. Then, Mom, you knew and didn't tell us? We're your family. You wouldn't have any of that if not for us, I replied once. You're right, I wouldn't. Because of you, I had nothing. Because of him, I have everything. And then I left the chat. For the first time in my life, they were the ones knocking, and I didn't have to answer. Months have passed since I inherited everything. My life is completely different now. I've started a foundation in my grandfather's name to help people like me, forgotten and drained by those they trusted most. My family? They tried every trick to get their hands on the money. Lawyer threats, emotional pleas, even public shame campaigns. But the will was ironclad and I held all the cards. I didn't fight back with anger. I fought with calm, smart decisions. I donated, I invested, I rebuilt. And the greatest revenge? Freedom. Freedom from their lies. Freedom from being used. Freedom to finally live on my own terms. Sometimes I hear whispers about the evil billionaire's granddaughter, who left her family empty-handed but helped strangers rise. And I smile. Because I'm not just surviving anymore. I'm thriving. They funded their own destruction. And I built a new legacy.